here at the ballpark as the Orioles and the Tigers will be wrapping up this regular season of the 2010 year. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne for the Orioles, a doubleheader. And for these two managers, one final chance to take a look at what they've got this year and maybe where they're heading next year. And for us, a chance to look at where the Orioles are now compared to where they finished last season. It, of course, has been about the last 2 months, but the baseball season is a longer year than that. For the Orioles, a chance to have more wins than they had last year. The team batting average has actually slipped a bit. The home runs, 131 this year compared to 160 last year. That's why there's so much talk about getting a power bat. The average with runners in scoring position, a problem all year long. That has been better over the last 60 days. And that starter ERA, of course, has really taken a dramatic plunge down. And that's on the good side for the Orioles. And the last 2 months, a real emphasis in that. So Mike Flanagan, pluses, minuses to look at.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think it really goes back to the starting pitching. Where you can have the most faith in going into next season will be the young starters that have come through, certainly since Buck Showalter has come on in August and September. Those trends all heading in the right direction. The ones from last year finishing off the season were heading in the wrong direction.
And, there's still an issue, even though we're in the final weekend here, regarding the rotation. And Chris Tillman, who makes the start, is a question mark right now for the Orioles.
He is. And you got to remember, he's only 22 years old, and you got to remember he only has 111 innings under his belt. So he's greener than the rest, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think Buck Showalter said it best early today, where he talked about him not being a finished product. Remember, he's 6'6", 22 years old, a lot of moving parts, very young, inexperienced, but as Buck also said, has shown those flashes. You see why the Orioles like him.
All right, so the Orioles will have a chance to get a final look at him as he makes the start in the first game of this doubleheader, and they take on the Detroit Tigers, the team that has the advantage over them this year. Take a look at the numbers that the Orioles and Tigers have put up head-to-head. Tigers have won 4 of the 6 games. Tremendous batting average numbers for both of these teams. Both have produced a lot of runs. Home runs surprisingly down for all that offense. And the ERA for the Orioles, 5.88. That's been the difference in those 6 games.
Yeah, absolutely the difference is that earned run average for the Orioles being at 5.88. But when these two teams have met, it's really been about the offense, not about the long ball so much, but a lot of multiple run innings.
All right, and as we're talking about the team this year and the one we're going to see next year, a lot of changes are going to be made for Buck Showalter before the game today. He was asked about the time frame. He did get in. He has had a couple of months to take a look. Does he wish he had even more time?
There's always some things you think you feel, but you come in and then some things that you feel after a week, and then you look back on a month later and you go, gosh, I'm glad I had a little more time to feel good about that. And so I would take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I'd take as much time as you can get to make good decisions, but I'm comfortable that we've seen what we need to see to make some good decisions as we go forward. Some of them will be out of our hands, where the player has earned the right to make that decision first before we do.
From a GM's perspective, when you're sitting in the front office, do you wish you two had another couple of months to watch?
A couple more years, it would be time. Once you get to this time of year, though, when you're in the front office, it's really one of the more exciting times of the year. The season is over. I know as a player, I always feel very sad this time of the year. The season is ending. No matter if it's been good or bad, you've lived through it and survived it. But when you're in the front office and you get to this time of the year, it's your chance to really try to make a difference.
We're going to try and talk a bit about some rule changes that took place this week as far as free agency is concerned, by agreement of the Players Association and the team. May make the free agent market a little more interesting. We'll talk about that during the ball game. All right, we are ready to go. It's a doubleheader. Mike brought those big lunch buckets with him, so we're going to dig in, have a little bite, and then we'll be on our way with the first pitch. fans. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Some difference in this day weather-wise than the tropical storm that went through the whole eastern seaboard. In Baltimore, got about 6 inches of that rain overnight. Beautiful day today. Let's take a look at our train game time temperature. It is 65 degrees and clear skies and sun. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for Jimmy Leyland's Tigers. It'll be Jackson, Rhymes, and Damon, Rayburn, Kelly, Peralta, Bosch, Inge, and Avila. Brandon Inge this season against the O's. Some big offensive numbers.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report on Chris Tillman. First shall be last. 0-3 with a 9.47 ERA at home and still looking for his first win at home. So real important in his last start to do well and to fly solo. 5 of the 8 home runs he's allowed this year have been solos, and 17 of the 23 in his career. That's another sort of positive number. And stay in the game. Amazingly, the Orioles are 20-6 in one-run games, so it would be hoping to stay around this one as deeply as possible.
So, and for Chris Tillman, as we talked about, it's an opportunity for him to leave a good taste in the mouth of the organization and the manager and GM in particular, as the considerations are made regarding next season. And Buck Showalter gets a chance here against the Tigers in a 4-game set to see these players one final time before the offseason decisions have to be made. Tigers are coming in with a 3-game losing streak. They have played a doubleheader on Wednesday, so they're in effect playing back-to-back doubleheaders for Jimmy Leyland's team. They lost both ends of it Wednesday against Cleveland, day off yesterday, and here we are back at it again in a doubleheader. And a strike taken.
They may think this is just normal.
Yes.
Play a doubleheader, day off. That'd be an interesting schedule.
That would be. That just doesn't happen anymore, to have those kind of back-to-back doubleheaders. And a strike taken. Jackson, 5-game hit streak for him. One of the fine young players of the game, leading the Tigers in hits, steals, and triples. And as we said, a 5-game hit streak coming into this one. And Jackson with a big cut is gone. 3 to the plate, 3 in the strike zone.
What's good about it is they're all down in the strike zone. The 0-2 pitch to Austin Jackson. Breaking ball. Late finish, 85 miles an hour, right through the zone and out. That's one thing Jackson has, is he is prone to the strikeout.
So one away for Tillman. Here's Will Rhymes playing at second base in the ball game. Tillman after that second win of the year, and as Mike said, his first year at home. And the pitch is going to be in there for a strike. And for Chris, knowing getting these big outs early and getting the strike early will really matter, especially in a game like this where you're in the final 4 and the hitters are going to be more inclined to be swinging the bat if it's close. Give them the opportunity to put the ball in play and make the out. Outfield extremely shallow in left and center. This is a punch hitter who likes to put the ball in play in front of the outfielders. This one will go to second base. Andino's got that spot. 2 down.
Let's see what the Orioles defense this afternoon. Felix P.A. will be in left. Adam Jones will man center field. Nick Markakis in right. There's an outfield that has accounted for 35 assists, second best in the American League. In the infield, Wigginton, Astores, Andino, and Luke Scott over at first base for game 1. And Craig Tatum will do the catching.
Brian Roberts out of the ball game. The headaches are still a problem, and is not going to play in this one nor in the second game. Here is Johnny Damon, and Damon will take it for a strike. For Johnny Damon, a career against the Orioles, 302, 29 homers. He's put up some big numbers against Jeremy Guthrie, who will be working in the second game. And for Johnny Damon, this is the 200th game that he has played in his career against the Orioles. All those games in the division, of course, for the Red Sox and the Yankees, and now out of the division with the Detroit Tigers. So Damon's had a lot of them. Damon has 29 home runs, 116 RBIs, 200 games played, 799 at-bats against Oriole pitchers in his career. And they got jammed on that. Tillman up and in on him and fouled back in a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, Damon spent his entire career in the American League. Started off with the Royals, went out to Oakland, then on to the Red Sox. So I guess that's one of the things with the more modern player. You have the chance now to play him probably with 4 or 5 different teams in your career.
Tillman trying to get the 1-2-3 inning. Damon has certainly been an interesting player wherever he's gone. He has succeeded, both in the teams and wins, and himself personally. That one into right into that sun. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Markakis over to get it. Damon's going to go for 2, and he will go in. Johnny Damon's got a double. That right field is going to be a little tough for the right fielders here to start this doubleheader.
Yeah, I'm not sure Markakis sees this ball off the bat. A little bit of hesitation on his part. Very much the sun field here for this probably game 1, almost the entire game 1, I would think.
Yep. Left field's going to be in shadow. Center field shadows, and right field sun. So a runner on at second base, Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn's got an 8-game hit streak coming into this ball game. Another player who's put some big numbers up. 414 during the streak. That is the 4th longest active streak in the American League coming into this final weekend's play. 0-1 delivery will be punched to second base, handled by Andino, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. A look at the Orioles lineup when we come back. With a runner on, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Patterson will be leading it off. Markakis, Wigginton, Scott, P.A. and Jones, and Dino, Tatum, and Asturis against Jeremy Bonderman for Nick Markakis, 4 for 5 with a dinger.
Our PNC scouting report on Jeremy Bonderman. What he needs to do to achieve success this afternoon is to be on the mark. Nick Markakis, 4 for 5 with a home run. He'll have to be careful with him. And power to the left. 17 home runs allowed to left-handed hitters, and got to be a road dog. Just 2-5 with an elevated 6.15 ERA on the road. Much better at home, as most of these Tigers pitchers are.
High ERA and opponent batting average. You see the hits well over the innings pitched mark. And Corey Patterson will take it and gets ahead on the count 2-0. Corey Patterson was in the on-deck circle as Tillman threw the final pitch in the end of the last half inning. He's the DH, so he was ready to go.
He could be perceived as being a little anxious.
As soon as that ball was hit to second, he was already in the on-deck circle, waiting to go. You know, Corey gets a shot at it here in the first game in the leadoff spot. He is 1 for 11 against the Tigers this season. Bonderman gets a strike on the inside corner. Bill Cousy stating the strike zone early. Patterson stating his dislike of it in a similar vein.
Maybe because he's been waiting so long.
I waited for this.
Come on. Been waiting all afternoon.
Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and the slider is going to miss inside, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Jeremy Bonderman, a lot of injury problems over the Second half of last year, most of last season, and half of this year in rehab. Swung out and missed, so he starts with a strikeout.
Well, 3-2 pitch from Bonderman. It's a pretty good sinker. Bottom falls out late. Corey swings over the top of it.
Bonderman had to have thoracic surgery for a thoracic outlet compression syndrome that troubled him last year in this. So he really has had a comeback season. It's his 29th start of the 2010 year. And the pitch will be taken by Mark Henkes. Nick with a 3-game hit streak entering this one, and a very solid season already put into the record books. Against the Detroit Tigers, 4 home runs in the 33 games. Against Bonderman, 4 for 5 with the homer. And he's going to have that one stopped by Kelly, who makes the flip, and Bonderman's able to find the bag. Nice play defensively to deny him a hit.
Yeah, he appeared to be headed to right field. Don Kelly lays out, makes a nice diving play, and Bonderman not quite sure where the bag is after 160 games, but Rayburn will be in left, Jackson will be in center, Bosch will be in right, Inge will be at third, Peralta at shortstop, Rhymes will play second base, and Kelly will be at first, we just saw, and Alex Avila will be behind the plate.
And here is Ty Wigginton batting third and playing third in the ball game. Bonderman's pitch to him, and that's going to be taken down low for a ball. Ty Wigginton, who has supplied power. Brandon Inge, who has supplied power and hits. Defense, Wigginton, mostly at first base, although some at third, and Inge, of course, at third base for the Detroit Tigers. Comparison since 2008, very similar in numbers, home runs, RBIs, extra base hits. Ty with a better overall batting average, an extra base hit mark. Puts that one in the air to left center field. Jackson will get over and makes the catch. There is a pretty good breeze blowing in today, and that ball did get held up. 1-2-3 inning for Bonderman.
Final weekend for the Orioles is about player evaluation. Buck Showalter says that he sees 22-year-old right-hander Chris Tillman as an unfinished product, and I asked the manager what he sees in Tillman in terms of his competitive demeanor. He said that too is to be determined. As the manager points out, he's seen some of his young pitchers this year have some success and then grow in terms of that competitive demeanor. Still a work in progress with Chris Tillman. Back upstairs now, Gary and Mike.
Absolutely, Mark, and obviously it would not hurt the cause to have a great outing here in this final one of the 2010 season. Don Kelly leading it off. He made that fine play at first base. Couple of hits, 12 at-bats against the Orioles on the season for Kelly. Lineup's got a lot of lefties in it against Tillman. Left-handers are 277 off Tillman. Right-handers 269. He's actually given up 6 of the 8 home runs he surrendered to right-handers. Off-speed pitch is going to miss outside, 2-1. Kelly's done a good job defensively with the Tigers games being played this season. Miguel Cabrera, of course, is out. One of the game's best MVP candidate. High ankle sprain, and as a result, is not going to be playing for Leland's Ball Club here in the final weekend of the season, and a shame not to be able to see him finish what has been a magnificent year for him. That one is clouded way back and right, and goodbye home run. And it bounds in off the stone gate wall into the center field area. Wow, did he clock that. And the Tigers have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, the wind has been really swirling and really blowing in very strong from left field, so all the hitters will be trying to hit the ball to right field. And watch this ball, 3-1 pitch. I'm not sure if it's just sort of a get-me-over fastball, and he gets it over the right field wall on the line.
Boy, not much doubt about that off the bat. His 8th home run of the season for Don Kelly. And that will be fouled away by Johnny Peralta. So Kelly gets the long ball homer, and the Tigers get the 1-0 lead in the ballgame. He just jumped on that one. Johnny Peralta, 0-1 delivery to him, and he takes the breaking ball. Did he swing? And the answer is yes. Peralta didn't think so. Chris Conroy down at first base.
Take a look at his last swing. Looks like that bat had a real borderline. And it could have gone either way. You see Peralta, the look in his eye. Not quite sure what he was going to call.
And the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be taken inside. Most in the American League home run wise, the Orioles the dubious distinction, 183 now with Kansas City, New York, Tampa Bay. That one in the air to right center field. Markakis never saw it. Jones is coming over, but Markakis finds it. And he got it, and Peralta is retired. Our second inning brought to you by Luna. And our Luna doubles board, the American League team leaders, the Red Sox on top with the Twins, Jays, Tigers, and Rays team doubles. Call today for the Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Brendan Bosch stands in and will take the pitch inside for a ball. What a year. 14 homers, 66 RBIs, and the .260 batting average for him, leading all rookies in home runs and RBIs. He is second among rookies in hits, doubles, and extra base hits.
I really got out of the sheet great with the Tigers early on. I think we went in there earlier in the year. He was hitting about 360, hitting about 400 against left-handers. Has a good eye. Those numbers have somewhat whittled down the second half of the season.
1-1 delivery, crunched. Will it stay fair? Way back, and that's going to be a foul ball. Wow. Well, we talk about decisions to be made. The writers will be voting on the Rookie of the Year candidates. Bosch is certainly in there. So is Austin Jackson, Tigers center fielder. And Feliz with the Rangers. With that 4-3 mark, 39 saves. Great job for a youngster in a key role. Sunday we'll cast our votes for Cy Young, MVP, and Rookie of the Year, which will be absolutely meaningless in the greater scheme of things, but there's airtime to fill, and those things are always interesting.
And it's likely to be a tie.
It's likely to be a tie. Bosch with the 1-2 count. And Tillman up high to him. Bosch has had a couple of hits in 14 at-bats against the Orioles this season. As we showed you in the head-to-head comparison, both these teams have had big offensive numbers batting average-wise against one another in the 6 games that have been played. For the Orioles, their second doubleheader of the season, they played in Minnesota May 8th, with the Orioles winning 7-3 in Game 1 and losing 6-1 in the second game. It was the first doubleheader at the new Target Field. That one is knocked down. Luke Scott, nice play. Tillman to cover, and they get the out. As Luke uses the leather.
And you can hear him. Pretty nice play by the glove going to the hole. Does the right thing, takes a few steps towards Tillman, shows him the ball. What you're going to do is really a stiff wrist throw. Very fundamentally sound play.
So 2 down after the home run by Don Kelly that started the inning. And here is Brandon Inge. Of all the Tiger players this year, Inge has been the one against the Orioles. 10 for 24 with a home run and 8 RBIs. He is their leader at the plate in those categories this season against the Orioles. Deep in the batter's box, back foot on the chalk. 0-1 delivery by Tillman, and that'll be taken. Mike was talking about the home run surrendered by Tillman. Interesting that one of those home runs, 9 of 24 have come to the leadoff batter in an inning. 9 of 24 have been hit by the leadoff batter.
Yeah, you're counting the one tonight, too. I think a lot of it is, and I don't think it's a fault of Tillman's, is that you fall behind the leadoff hitter in an inning, you go 3-1. First thing he said, I don't want to walk the leadoff man in the inning.
Well, he comes back and retires the next 3, but the home run by Kelly puts the Tigers on the board, and they have the 1-0 lead. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan for the doubleheader. And a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Luke Scott, Felix P.A., Adam Jones due up. As Luke will try and put a big flourish on the end of his season, which has been long ball. And especially here in his home yard where he's hit so well. And Luke would like to finish it up. Great average, 286, 27 homers on the year. Bonderman's pitch swung on and missed, took something off that one. See the numbers: 300 and 249 lefties righties, 17 and 8 the home runs. It's the 5th largest differential in average for pitchers in the league. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and the breaking ball will miss down low. He just can't get the left-handers up.
What it is the breaking ball. You know, that slider that's so effective to left-handers, and he's always sort of struggled for a third pitch. He's always been a power arm, power sinker, power slider, but hasn't had that third pitch to really keep the left-handers off of it.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Scott will take that inside.
See that place in that spot to a right-handed hitter's down and away and off the plate, and they'll chase. Left-handers just see it so much better. Plus, they end up getting the bat head out on the slider.
Luke hitting .342 at home, 3rd best home average in the American League, .228 on the road. 2-2 delivery, and the fastball is going to be outside.
I think it's Luke Scott has really scarred this Tigers club over the last 2 years. In 17 games, he's hit .379, 10 home runs, 13 runs, and driven in 23, and they have pitched him so carefully this year.
3-2 delivery on the way to him, and he's going to draw the walk.
They'll just as soon put him on.
Yep. So a leadoff walk for Scott here in the second inning. Bonderman has walked 57 in 167 innings. And that will bring up Felix P.A. 5 homers, 28 RBIs, and a good 271 batting average for P.A. Felix in the month of September hit 235. No home runs in September. P.A. with a runner on at first base, Scott. Both the first baseman and the runner looking directly into the sun. Bonderman's delivery, and P.A. on a turnover pitch didn't get a good cut. There you see Orioles left field wise this season, last season for Felix P.A. Average up, doubles up, hits, and in fewer games. 0-1 delivery to him. Bonderman will miss outside with it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Felix has been cool of late, just 4 for 25 on that trip. That really is the unexpected injury bug that has plagued him so far. Had a great spring training, great start to the season, and long period in the disabled list.
Bonderman, 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. And P.A. started, but held up on it. Though Bonderman not able to get the Orioles to chase some of these pitches, falls behind again, 2-1.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work for him against left-handed hitters. Again, that slider, you just have a tendency to lay off it where right-handers would chase.
Bonderman has surrendered the 9th most runs in the American League. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that one to short. Taylor made, Peralta, Grimes, and Kelly. That'll eliminate that leadoff walk. Fan Appreciation Weekend continues tomorrow. The Orioles host the Tigers at 7:05. This weekend you'll have the chance to win VIP experiences, a chance to take the field with the players during the anthem, even the hand of the game-worn autographed jersey. Don't miss out. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Fan Appreciation Weekend going on here with a doubleheader underway, as fans will have a chance to pick up some jerseys. Will be autographed by the players. Here's Adam Jones, 280, 19 home runs. He has had the best number average-wise against Detroit this year, hitting .417 against the Tigers. Bonderman with 2 down and nobody on. 0-1. That's in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2. You have to believe Adam Jones, even with the outstanding play we've seen from him, still is on the verge of having one of those explosive seasons that may well be next year. And that will retire Jones on the ground ball out. So only 3 come to the plate despite the walk here in the second. Tigers lead it. Question: who was the last Tiger player to lead the American League in RBIs? Last Tiger player to lead in RBIs. Cecil? or after?
Cecil. I'd say Cecil.
You would? Mm-hmm. He would say Cecil
50
Field,
bombs,
ladies and gentlemen. And Mike's answer is correct!
Yeah, Cecil.
Holy cow.
He was like the first guy to hit 50 in those years.
Okay, let's end the AT&T Mobility Trivia Question Experience right there.
Oh.
Just like Ted Williams, I hit the home run, I ran into the dugout, I ran into the clubhouse, and I canceled my flight for the final road trip to Detroit.
I feel like Karnak.
Chris Tillman goes to work here, and that will be fouled off. Alex Avila, who is doing the catching in this game, batting ninth. He's had 20 at-bats against the Orioles this season, only 3 for 20. 234 overall. And he swings through that one. Tillman throwing strikes here, and it goes to 0-2.
Yeah, just 27 pitches thrown going into the third inning.
Oh-2 delivery to the left-hander, and he's gone. So Tillman gets his third strikeout. We mentioned how Cabrera is not going to be playing in this series. It was the high ankle sprain on that play. How about that? Getting back to first base and attempted pickoff is when it happened. High ankle sprain, so he is out for the remainder of the season. He will receive consideration for MVP in the American League with the numbers he's put up. Austin Jackson, strikeout victim, takes it. You see, with and without him, haven't been many games without him, as he's been a pretty durable player since coming over to the Tigers in 2008. But without the kind of bat he brings to the lineup, you got to suffer. Slicing line drive to Markakis, and Jackson is retired, 2 down. So Oriole fans will not have the pleasure of seeing this batter, who's hitting .328 with 33 homers and 126 RBIs.
It was rarely pitched to really in the second half. 420 on base percentage. 32 intentional walks on the year. The next closest was Joe Mauer with 14.
Second in average, third in home runs, the leader in RBIs in the American League. Bautista should overtake him this weekend. Bautista's got 124 with Toronto and will lead the league in home runs. He's got 54 right now. We talked about a chance for a Triple Crown winner in both the American and National Leagues. At certain points, there's not going to be a Triple Crown winner in either league.
Nothing really even close to Bautista destroying the home run chances with the 54 at the moment.
Here's Rhymes, 2-0 delivery, and that pitch will be taken up, and the count goes to 3-0. Josh Hamilton's back for Texas. He's going to play tonight. Boy, is that good news for Texas. He is the league's leading hitter at .361, and he gets back into the Texas lineup this evening. And that's outside, so a 2-out walk surrendered here in the third inning. First free pass surrendered by Tillman. Tillman has, even though he's worked only 46 innings, still an unusual number to have more walks, 30, than strikeouts, 27.
Yeah, that's something that certainly will change or should change with time.
Damon delivered a double his first time up, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Johnny Damon up to 273 now. Pretty good lead at first base. Rhymes not going. Damon with a wild card on the pitch away.
But you can also see Tillman has added a couple of pitches from these. This is what they like to see as the season goes on. He could be over the top four-seamer, then he has a changeup. And look at the movement on this pitch. At times he's used a cutter, so he really arrived with 2 pitches. And he's going to be leaving this season with 4.
And he takes that one to left field. PA coming over and will make the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. First game of 2. Tide run. They 4.5 runs a ball game, about a run and a half more than the overall number. Starter ERA is magnificent, and the quality starts 15 out of 26. Scott's products keep your lawn lush and green. Visit Lowe's for a chance to win a VIP World Series experience. Compliments of Scott. Roberto Andino. Andino getting the start at second base. As we said, Brian Roberts, the headaches continued. He came to the ballpark and did a little workout today, and they're still there. So Butch Showalter thought if they're still hurting at game time of 1, I don't think they're going to go away with a game time of 2. So he said he's not going to play in either one. Always subject to change, but that was the decision. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Andino will pop that one up. That hurt. Kelly did not see that railing coming and went into it pretty hard.
Yeah, the ball and Kelly arrived at the same time over by that camera well. So he had it in his glove for an instant right there. And right off the glove, you see it jar his head.
One ball, 2 strike count. You saw Kelly shake his head and say, "Yep, I'm all right." He didn't know he shook his head, but
he was still shaking his head.
And 2 ball, 2 strike count. He's looking over there at that like, that railing's been there all along apparently.
Never noticed that
before. Never noticed that before, but I will next time.
Well, when did they put that in?
Done that between the first and second innings. And the slider is going to miss outside, and a 3 ball, 2 strike count on Andino. See, that wasn't there when the game started. I know.
Well, he couldn't see it because the sun was in his eyes. If it wasn't for the sun being in his eyes, he'd have saw the pole.
3-2 pitch, and Andino will draw the walk. And Bondeman not happy with that. That's 2 innings with a leadoff walk back-to-back. And tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game, Kathy Mitchum from Fort Washington. If an Orioles player hits the Hit It Here sign located in that bullpen area, Kathy, you win $100,000. To find out how you can become a fan of the game, visit mdlottery.com/hitithere. Orioles still looking for their first hit off Bonderman. Greg Tatum getting the start behind the plate. 110 at bats for him in a backup role this season. And the fastball is taken inside. Bonderman struggling a little bit with the strike zone right now. Detroit Tigers are playing their 6th doubleheader in 2010. That's a lot. They had 3 wins, 7 losses in doubleheader games this year. They've had splits with the Yankees, Jays, and White Sox. They were swept by the Indians twice. Doubleheader games, they've been outscored 45-27 this year in doubleheader games. Boy, those doubleheader losses to the Indians hurt. Runner going, hit and run was on in the air to left field. Rayburn. He's got it. Andino will head back, and 1 away. Get ready for an exciting 2011 season. Make your deposit for the full or partial season plan now. Gain access to the best seats at Camden Yards. Enjoy baseball's biggest and best benefits package, the Orange Carpet Program. You save on individual tickets and you never pay ticketing fees. Guarantee your access to opening day as well. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Didn't figure it out yet. We've got to do the countdown to opening day before we get to Sunday. And the pitch will be taken for a strike is Turris, batting in the 9 spot with Patterson on deck. Ball gets away. Runner will stay as Bonderman gets some help from Peralta. Jeremy Bonderman on a streak right now, some non-decision games. He's had a win and 4 NDs in his last 5 starts. He's coming off an outing against Minnesota, which he gave up 7 runs on 9 hits in 4 innings and was non-decisioned in a Tiger 11-10 win.
Yeah, he's not pitched well over his last 4 or 5. Well, actually, his last 4 for sure. Really into the 6th inning.
See the wins among the Tigers. Scherzer with 12. Porcello's going to pitch game 2 against Guthrie today. Grounder right at the bag. Peralta 1 and 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So the Orioles have gone through the lineup without a hit.
A diamond to third base. What would you think of the prospect of Nick Markakis playing first base? Well, Orioles manager Buck Showalter has thought about it. In fact, when he first took the job, he asked his coaching staff, has Nick ever played first base? They all looked at each other and said, don't think so. So Showalter had Nick Markakis take ground balls at first base. Now, I asked Nick about this. He said, I'd do it just for fun. I asked him if he would ever be interested in actually playing the position. He said, no, I like it in right field. Too much to think about on the infield. Gary, Mike.
It's the same thing we say up here.
Yes. Too much to think about.
Too much to be up here. Too much to think about out there.
Yeah, we don't want to get too close to the action.
Here's Ryan Rayburn. And that'll be grounded down to short. Deep in the hole is Turris' long throw to get him. Rayburn retired. He lined out his first time up, went away here in the 4th inning.
I actually did talk to Buck about that with Markakis, and part of the thought being is, again, maybe talking about trades or free agency, if there's a chance to get, maybe a power-hitting outfielder, how can you sort of manipulate the club to accommodate another bat in the lineup somewhere? So that was just one of the many things that I think Buck goes through on a day-to-day basis, and where that bat is going to come from. I think everyone knows they really need more offense along the way. I think they're pretty happy with the pitching overall.
And he also used him as a DH, which Nick had not done before. 1-0 delivery, and that is taken for a strike. Don Kelly, home run, first time up.
They didn't waste any time. 3-1 fastball leading off the inning.
His 8th of the year. Off-speed pitch and a good one. Chris Tillman, home run-wise, he gave up 5 in his first 41 innings. He has given up 4 in his last 9. And if he knew the answer to why, he'd be more than happy to adjust it.
Yeah, usually the counts tell the reason.
1-2 inside, 2-ball, 2-strike count on Kelly. Chris looking for his first home win, 0-3 with a 9.4 ERA here at Camden Yards this year. It's going to be fouled away. He has now had 11 career starts here in this ballpark, counting this one. Over the last 10, 1-4. Lifetime here with a 6.19 ERA. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Kelly. Inside out. PA coming. Wigginton going. Then neither will get to it.
And see with the shake-off of signs with that, Craig Tatum will head out and have a chat with Chris Tillman. You're getting back to one of those counts again. What is your thinking on this? First time up, 3-1 fastball, one deep. We've watched the signs from Tatum the last couple of pitches, breaking balls and changeups, and Tillman shook him off and went with the fastball away.
Kelly hangs in with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, 53 pitches thrown so far. Going to stay around that 14 to 16 pitch mark per inning. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and jammed him. Little roller, Andino. And the veteran Kelly grounds out, and there are 2 down. Well, on our Who'da Thought board in the first game of our doubleheader, how about the Dodgers signing a 2-year deal with Rancho Cucamonga? Actually, everybody thought that, but you can never pass up an opportunity to say Rancho Cucamonga. Oriole pitchers 6 of 7 shutouts this season have come under Buck. And the MLB, 14 pitches now have 200 or more strikeouts. That's the most since '69, when there were 15 who had 200 or more Ks on the year. And that number likely will be reached and broken here during the final weekend. This has been a pitcher's year. A lot of strikeouts recorded. And the pitch is taken down low. Peralta flied out to right field his first time up.
Yeah, a lot of ERAs down, microscopic ERAs compared to the past. King Felix Hernandez 2.27, Buchholz 2.33, usually around 3.5 or 4, or low 3s as a Cy Young Award winner.
And pitchers have really dominated. The 20-game winners. What are we up to now? 3. Good Holiday, Sabathia, and somebody
we miss him.
I don't know. So we'll think of it in a second here. Lester lost the opportunity to get his 20th with the Red Sox. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Wainwright.
Cardinals. Jimmy Leland's ball club, they had 86 wins last year. They've got 80 coming into this final weekend. That one to short is Torres. Nice play. And again, that fine glove and a good reach by Scott. And Tillman with a 1-2-3 inning on 3 ground ball outs. That's the kind of weather we've seen exhibited by Asturias all year. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Honda, look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. First game of the doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers with that massive rain that went through the area last night. Orioles lead the all-time series against Detroit, having won 423 games, losing 386. Tigers have the 4-2 edge so far this year. And bunted. Patterson. Got away. Donovan came off, played it. But Patterson, great bunt, and with that speed, he's got an infield hit, and the Orioles have their first hit.
Just such great speed, and the advantage of coming out of that left-handed side of the batter's box. Takes it right with him, a drag bunt. Bonneman a little bit late. Tries to pick it up with his hand, make the quick flip, but that speed of Patterson just too great.
So we'll keep an eye, as will Bonderman, on Corey Patterson. as Nick Markakis will come to the plate. Against Bonderman, 12 out of 19 in stolen bases. Avila has thrown out 32%. Real good number for him behind the plate. Did not go around. Patterson taking a long look at Gary Allenson over at third base. Well, that sun gone now. Everybody can see the pitcher, first baseman and runner, first base coach. Not a big lead. Markakis will take the pitch outside. Nick grounded out. Mike not wanting to go here with Nick. Give him that big hole between first and second with a chance for a base hit.
Yeah, with nobody out, pretty good plan of attack if you think Markakis is going to be able to pull. And we also know he has great numbers against Bonderman.
4 for 6 for the homer off the Detroit starter, who's being very careful with him here and falls behind 3-0. So Bonderman continues to work behind hitters here in this game. Patterson edging off. He's not going anywhere. And lost him. So Bonderman has walked 3 in the ball game, and the Orioles have 2 on here in the 4th with nobody out. Tomorrow from noon until 1. Don't miss Orioles rookie Josh Bell at the Wendy's located at 3620 Washington Boulevard in Baltimore. Josh will be meeting fans, signing autographs tomorrow noon to 1. Noon till 1. Wendy's, 3620 Washington Boulevard in the city. For more details, OriolesReach.com. Josh watching, probably will be playing in game 2. Ty Wigginton. Wigginton flying out to center field his first time up. And he'll take a strike on the outside corner. For Wigginton, just .227 with runners in scoring position this year. One of the many Orioles who have struggled in these situations, which is why the Orioles' run production has been at or near the bottom in the league all year. 0-1 runners off first and second base. Another. Only play is going to be at first. So Peralta makes the play. Patterson will move up to third. And Markakis goes down to second. Wigginton out.
Yeah, by being jammed so badly, able to both runners to move up. Not able to get any of the lead runners. Ball running in right on the hands of Wigginton, out of the reach of Inge. New play for Peralta's first base.
The RBI chance for Luke Scott. Luke with 1 down, 2 in scoring position. He too has struggled in these situations, hitting only .209 with runners in scoring position this year.
He has raised that number some, but was most of the year under 200.
1 away, and that one's going to bounce, and coming in to score will be Patterson. And that, nope, they say it hit him. So Patterson's got to go back. Luke Scott got hit by a pitch on that, down on the foot. No argument about it. They're loaded.
Yes, with that, Patterson will have to go back to first base, but now the bases will be loaded. It's like a breaking ball from Bonderman. It's a little dot on it. It's almost unbelievably. Luke Scott, how did that ball hit me? I watched it hit right off my toe.
Yeah, and did you see the home plate umpire reacted to the hitter? He was not going to call that. He did not call that a hit batter immediately. Because he behind the plate. He waited, but when Scott started to go to first, he went with the hitter and said it got him. So they're loaded up. Here's PA. In the air to right field. Into the sun. Didn't see it. Hits the base of the wall. Bosch will get it in. Only 1 run will score as everybody had to wait. It's going to be an RBI single for PA, and it for the Orioles ties it up at 1.
Well, that has been sort of a strange inning all the way around. This one appears to be lost in the sun. Low line drive off the bat of PA. And Bosch right there and right seems to give up on a tour. Hits the bottom of the wall. Check as you'd see members of the ground crew out in that right field area shielding their eyes. I'm not sure he had a real good beat on it.
So Bonderman having some problems here. Rick Knapp is the pitching coach for the Tigers. Bases are still loaded, only 1 away, with Jones coming to the plate. for Felix Pierre, credit him with his 29th RBI of the season in his 79th game. And with one away, Jones now has a chance to give the Orioles the lead. Each team with a run and 2 hits. Pierre getting the long base of the wall single.
The thing we know is that the Tigers just have not been a good road club this year. It's almost like a different ball club when you play them in Detroit.
Yep, in a big ballpark, and they've really taken advantage of it. That's down to third. That's going to be by Inge. Markakis will score. Scott is coming in. They're going to try for another as Rayburn had trouble, and they're going to clear the bases as PA charges to the dugout. Jones gets a 3 RBI double, and the Orioles take the lead on his 24th two-bagger of the year.
Well, the hottest hitter against the Orioles this season, or against the Tigers this year, has been Adam Jones, over 400 coming in, just out of the reach of a pretty good third baseman in Brandon Inge. And with a lot of speed on the bases, PA scores easily from first base. And that's just with 1 out. That's a good read on Felix's part.
So Jones gets the 3 RBIs. He's got 68 on the year now for Adam. Still only 1 away. Bonderman, who had not given up a hit. This whole thing started with that Patterson bunt. A real good single to start the inning. Had not given up a hit prior to that. Fouled away by Andino.
Yeah, bunt and the walk really set up the whole inning. And then there's been a bunt, a walk, a hit batter.
Andino throwing a walk in the 3rd inning. 3 have been surrendered by Bonderman. Andino, even though he's hitting only .250, his on-base percentage up over .260. He's had a hit or a walk in 11 of the last 13, and he's on again. Wow. Bonderman has 10 hit batters on the season and 8 wild pitches. So he has been all over the place.
Yeah, he's missed up, and this one is up and in. The other one was off the foot of Luke Scott.
Runners at first and second, and Tatum coming up. Andino all right. Jones already out there at second base. Tatum flied out to left field, his first time up for Greg Tatum. 43rd game that he has appeared in. And he's done a real good job in the games that he has started this season for the Orioles. He's put up some good numbers and done a good job behind the plate. Still only 1 away. Infield double play depth pickoff move at second. Rhymes moved in. Bonderman delivers in the air to center field. Jackson going back. He's not going to get it. That'll take a hit off the base of the wall. Here comes Jones. Andino's literally right behind him. He'll score a 2 RBI double for Tatum. And the Orioles will lead at 6-1.
Well, breaking ball in the middle of the plate. And Tatum, the ball has been knocked down. It is going to this part of the field, left center and left field. This one appears to go right through it.
Well, the Orioles, an explosive inning. We told you Tatum had an outstanding job in the games he has started, hitting .333 in his last 16 coming into this one. And that goes to first. Kelly will go to the bag and get the out. Moving up to third base is Tatum as Torres is retired. So the Orioles have batted around. They've equaled their, or looking to equal, a season high 6 runs. They've equaled it, 6 runs in an inning. Looking to break it. 1-9 up in the bullpen. Showalter's team putting on an offensive show here in the inning. And Bonderman struggling. Patterson started this with a bunt base hit, and he's up again. And at third base, Tatum will be awake with those 8 wild pitches on the board from Bonderman this year.
And he could probably really drive Bonderman insane by bunting again.
Yes. Yes.
Bunt for a base hit again.
And Kelly is playing way back.
That's what I'm saying. It's there again.
Even with 2 down, he's way back at first base, so a drag bunt's got a lot of room. Nubs that one foul, almost a swinging bunt, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Bonderman has now hit at least 1 batter in 4 straight games, and he's hit 2 in this one. Runner at third, 2 down. 6-run 4th inning, with the Orioles coming in without a hit when the inning started. And only 9 had come to the plate, the minimum number, through the first 3 innings.
How quickly it can change.
10 have come to the plate in this inning. Like Showalter, 31 and 22. That's his mark since taking over, looking for his 32nd win. 2-1. Patterson, center field, Jackson, and he's got it. Another solid inning as the Orioles come away with 6 runs in the 4th and now lead it 6-1. Local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg, we make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Gary Thorne and Mike Flanagan with you, along with WJZ's Mike Viviano, as the Orioles and Tigers play a doubleheader. Game 2 will be 20 minutes after. So as you saw by that line at the food stand, it's time to eat.
I think it's time, yeah. It's after 5 o'clock, and I think the lines are starting to form.
Brendan Bosch will lead it off. Chris Tillman stake to a 6-1 lead, 6-4-0 for the Orioles, 1-2-0 for the Tigers. Tillman with a walk and 3 strikeouts so far. The home run by Kelly, the only run on the board for the Tigers. Changeup to Bosch, who grounded out.
He's had a pretty good one today. He's mixed in all his pitches. Just a 1-3-1 pitch home run to Kelly.
Brennan Bosch will take the pitch inside, and the count will go to 2-1. We were talking before the game started. You know, 4:30, 5:30 is not a bad time to start a baseball game. I don't think.
No, I'm all for it.
That goes to short as Torres up. I mean, the fans getting out of work, if you had a 5:30 start, could just come directly, if they're in the city, to the ballpark. School's out, time for families to be able to get home, get people here, get home earlier. Vendors would like it because people are going to come and eat at the ballpark in all likelihood, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Sun's still shining.
Gorgeous today.
Not a bad time at all. Of course, we're going to find out, like, is 7:30 a good time? Because we're going to do that too today.
Well, you never know.
Something close. Well, you're right.
It could be earlier.
Inge will foul that one back. Inge, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Postseason starts Wednesday. Still decisions to be made. Yankees and Rays tied for the lead in the American League best record number. Wigginton's got it, makes the play, and gets the out. Inge retired. A lot of ground balls for Tillman. Yankees play the Red Sox, Rays, Kansas City. If those teams ended up tied for first place, Tampa Bay would get the advantage because they have a 10-8 advantage over the Yankees head-to-head. So the most wins for home field advantage up to be decided. Western Division of the National League to be decided. The Giants, magic number 1. They're going to play the Padres, the team that's chasing them. 3-game series starts tonight in San Francisco. Padres really have to sweep. That's their hope to get in. The Braves are looking for the wild card spot. They've got a series against the Phillies. 0-1 delivery. Ground ball towards first base, played by Scott Tillman. Getting it done. That's going to be 7 in a row retired, 6 of those 7 via the ground ball.
He says he very much wants to be back. In fact, he came back to Baltimore, a place where he won as a player, so that he could win as a coach. And the last couple of months of winning have further emboldened him to be around to see this thing turn around in its completion. He played 11 years in the major leagues, did John Shelby, and he's been a coach for 13 years. He told me, I don't need this job. I want this job. It's something that I love to do, and I love it even more when we win. And I hope to be around here when this team wins again. Back upstairs, Gary and Mike.
And Mark, we know, talking with Buck before the game today, he's agonizing over these coaching decisions right now. He hasn't made any. He wants to be fair. He said the door's open for everybody. There's nobody who's been discounted for any reason that's on the staff. But it's a tough one. And in the end, he's got to feel comfortable. In the end, he's got to feel as though he's got around him people he completely trusts to work with him to get the job done.
Yeah, the coaches really have to be the extension of the manager, and I guess really working both ways.
Markakis will foul that one away. Kind of surprising. There was many thought that the decision would be delayed until after the World Series, so that perhaps people being considered who would be involved in World Series teams would be done their year. But he's saying nope. He wants this done really this weekend. That's going to be fouled off. And a 2-strike count. Nick Markakis drew a walk, scored in the 4th inning. He's also grounded out. Nick has a 3-game hit streak. Bondeman will try and settle down after the Orioles sent 10 to the plate in the 4th inning, getting those 6 runs on 4 hits. That one towards the middle. Off the glove of Rhymes. Markakis makes the turn. He'll stay as Peralta will chase it down. And Nick's got a 4-game hit streak. That'll be a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. So the Orioles 3 consecutive innings in which they have had the leadoff batter on. Well, actually, they've had a leadoff batter on in 4 consecutive, 4 of the 5. That'll bring up Ty Wigginton. Wigginton 0 for 2. He has flied out, grounded out. Ty is 6 for 26 against the Tigers this year. Goes first ball hunting, pops it up. And coming in to get it is Kelly. And 1 away. Between innings, chasing down that base, trying to beat the clock. You just pull the bag out, pull it out, and put it over your head. That's you pull it out, and put it over your head. Okay, well, I'll pull it out for you. Here. Well,
just
let it just pull like.
Time is going by.
That's the steal second base presented by SK. It's great for the kids. And yes, he won. Of course he did. Part of Fan Appreciation Weekend going on here. The SK steals second base in each of the 4 games against the Tigers.
That would have to go down as caught stealing.
That was caught stealing. It was a delayed steal,
yes,
but
very
still
delayed.
caught.
Couldn't find that tab you have to pull.
Luke Scott, hit by a pitch scored in the 4th inning, has also drawn a walk, so he hasn't been up yet officially. And a 2-0 count on him. Bonderman really working around Luke Scott. Mike told you the big numbers lifetime Scott has against the Tigers. This year, 2 for 11 against Detroit, but Bonderman looks like he's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, they really throw him a fastball and a fastball count. They'll pitch around him. Again, they pitched him in. He's been hit a few times by this Tiger club.
People around the Tigers, Luke Scott's one of those players that they'd love to have in a Tiger uniform.
Yeah, there's no question about it. When you see a player do that kind of damage that Luke Scott has done to the Tigers, you can't help but be impressed. And that really is the way most players end up with teams that they're playing for. It's what they've done against those clubs.
Exactly. 3-0 delivery, a chopper off the plate, and that ball is going to go foul. So a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Markakis will come back to first base.
I think that's how I ended up a Blue Jay. At one time, I had the most wins against that organization. So when they got me, they were very disappointed.
You
really were. They thought I won every game I ever pitched.
That is so true. Isn't that amazing? I mean, with all the available information and stuff, still those things happen.
When you see it, when you see the damage that Luke Scott did to that club, and you know they witnessed it firsthand.
3-ball, 1-strike count. Markakis is going. Scott takes it, and that's ball 4. 2 walks and hit by a pitch in 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, they're just not going to let Luke Scott hurt him, even though the score is 6-1.
That is the 4th walk surrendered by Bonderman in the ballgame. Bonderman has walked as many as 5 this season. He has done that a couple of times, and he's struggling here in this one. Jeremy Bonderman with the 8-9 mark. He came in getting 74% of leadoff batters, and the Orioles have had 4 out of 5 leadoff batters on. Felix P.A. takes the pitch inside for a ball. He got a big RBI single with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Hit into a double play his first time up. Takes the 1-0 for a strike. Talking about coaches, the Tigers have already announced everybody's coming back. The skipper will have all of the same coaches next season. Rafael Belliard infield, Gene Lamont third, Lloyd McClendon hitting, Jeff Jones bullpen, Rick Knapp pitching coach, Tom Brookins at first. Coaching staff will stay intact for the Tigers. That's going to be in the gap in right center field. Bosch going over, but it's going to roll by him all the way to the wall. Markakis will score. Scott will score. PA motors in. A stand-up triple. 2 RBIs. He's got 3 in the game.
Tonight's fourth drive of the game. Off the bat of Felix P.A. Low breaking ball. May have been a ball. Low middle. Splits the outfielders all the way to the wall and sticks. And with that, P.A. will get into third base easily. Markakis and Luke Scott will score.
And your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive 1. PA did. And the Orioles have chased the starter. Jeremy Bonderman is out of there as the Orioles in this first of 2 have an 8-1 lead. coming on to do the pitching for the Tigers.
Yeah, working his 47th game of the year, 4-1 record ERA, just about approaching 5. Has struggled over his last 5 outings, in the ERA of about 9 in 5 innings of work. He's allowed 5 earned runs, 10 hits, a couple of walks and a strikeout. I'm sure Jimmy Leland see if he can right the ship. 66 innings of work. You see the 83 hits on the high side.
So PA's on at third base. The infield is drawn in. Adam Jones, another chance for an RBI. He had 3 on a double in the 4th inning with the bases loaded when he cleaned them. The Orioles now with 8 runs on 6 hits. Bonderman out of the ball game, and that is a base hit with a drawn in infield. And a 4 RBI ball game as PA crosses the plate. Jones on at first and 9 1-0s.
Well, wasting no time. Look at your changeup in the middle of the plate and up. And Adam Jones just a nice clean single. 9-1.
All 9 runs are charged to Bonderman, who has now given up 16 runs in his last 8 1/3 innings, covering 2 starts. Well, the Orioles putting on an offensive show here in this one. Andino, he has walked him and hit by a pitch.
I think you were there. I'm talking to Buck about doubleheader. He said, "What is your goal in a doubleheader?" To try not to get swept.
Good idea.
Yeah. Doing a good job so far.
This is the area where under Buck, the runs per ball game really haven't changed that much overall. They have at home, but not overall. This is one of the biggest explosions offensively since Buck Showalter took over. What's made the difference and made it seem like the offense has been better has been the pitching, where there have been fewer runs scored and the wins have come.
Yeah, when you score 4 and you're only giving up 2,
you win.
It is. Looks like a landslide early in the year when they get up 5 or 6. You score 4. You say, what's wrong with the offense?
Yep.
They really made the runs. If they do score, stand up. They've done a nice job with it.
Andino, he'll foul that one back.
I think it's the little things. It's the attention to detail. I think it's the importance of a single pitch and single play. And I think Buck Showalter understands that. For sure. You can see the numbers: 14-13 versus the AL East when they were 10-35 beforehand. Just even looking up their 1-run records at home: 20-7.
Rhymes, Peralta, and the stretch made to get the double play off Andino. But the Orioles score 3 more and extend their lead for Tillman to 9-1. bunt, first hit, Patterson. That opened up the inning against Bonderman. By the time it was done, the Orioles had put 6 runs up on the board after not having had a hit going into that inning against Bonderman. And the fans celebrating that, celebrating a chance to get some autographed jerseys along with all kinds of other great things this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of goodies. Chris Tillman tonight pitching very well. 5 innings of work, just a 1 earned run on really the solo home run.
Well, Tillman, a lot of room now with that 9-1 lead. Only 2 hits for the Tigers in the ball game. We go to the 6th inning, and Jackson at the top of the order fouls that one away.
Take a look at the Tiger box score. Just that 3-1 pitch to Don Kelly, the solo home run. Johnny Damon was sort of a bloop double down the right field line. That's been it.
There's Torres. How about these ground balls, Mike?
Yeah, he's been racking them up, and he's really not a sinker ball pitcher, but his breaking stuff and his changeup all go down.
That's 9 ground ball outs so far, and the last 7 outs have been recorded on ground balls.
I said that's a good habit to get into. It's hard to hit ground ball home runs.
Well put, Mike.
Thank you. How logical.
Will Rhymes. And a 1-strike count. He has walked and grounded out. And the breaking ball is going to be in there for a strike. Again, pulled back on that. Oh, 0-2 delivery. And will miss just inside of it. Tomorrow night, Brian Mattis makes his final start of the year. Armando Galarraga, the almost perfect, will go for the Tigers. Brad Bergeson will wrap it up Sunday. Another changeup going to be blooped in for a base hit. So Rhymes is on with a single. Just out of the reach of everybody. It comes with 1 down. On Sunday, all Junior Orioles Dugout Club members are invited to wear a Halloween costume or their favorite orange and black outfit to the ballpark. It is the first ever trick-or-treat celebration. Dugout Club members at the 135 O's game to wrap it up against the Tigers have a chance to win prizes, collect candy and goodies at the trick-or-treat stations that will be located throughout the park. For details, 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. And we promise you we won't put him at one of the stations. Although it is Halloween. Almost. Runner on at first, and here's Johnny Damon. Damon a double and has flied out. To 272 on the year. Damon has joined a select group, 15th straight season, where he's played 140 or more games. Only the 5th player in Major League history to do that, 15 consecutive years. Hank Aaron, Brooks Robinson, Pete Rose, and Willie Mays are the others. That is pretty select category. Brooks Robinson had 16 seasons, consecutive seasons, in which he played in 140 or more games. Brooksy.
That's pretty impressive numbers.
That's durable, isn't it?
Yeah, consistency. I was just trying to think how many years Cal Ripken would have done it consecutively. I think his streak was over 13 years, if I'm not correct. Started in May of 92.
Probably in that next group of players. Foul back again. The mark is held by Brooks and Hank Aaron. They both had 16 consecutive seasons in which they played 140 or more games. Pete Rose tied with them at 16, and then Willie Mays had 15.
Amazing consistency.
0-2 count. Rhymes on at first base. And Damon swings and foul tipped it. Craig Tatum tried to hang on, just got away, and an 0-2 count. Rayburn, the cleanup batter, waiting on deck. 0-2. Tillman picks up another strikeout. 2 down.
They've been making it look easy. 0-2 pitch. He's gone right out. The intended target was down and away. That little cutter seemed to run in. I think he was trying to backdoor it. No, it's a straight fastball. Just took off and ended up in a good spot.
So Tillman has reached his season high in strikeouts with 4 again. And that slider's a strike. He had 4 at Detroit on September 12th and 4 against Tampa Bay on September 5 for a season high strikeout numbers.
I think a real positive number, just a 1 walk.
Swung on and fouled off on a strike 2 count.
He's had other starts where he's walked 6. Matter of fact, he walked 6 against the Tigers a few starts ago. Little breaking ball out of the reach, but it's just so much easier to know what the correct pitch is, or multiple pitches become correct when you are pitching ahead.
2 strike count with 2 down. Runner at first base. And swung on and missed. He's got a new high of 5. 2 strikeouts in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Oriole bats getting it done, and Tillman getting it done on the mound. Bottom of the 6th inning, and we invite you to start making your plans to join the Orioles in their beautiful new spring training home, Sarasota, Florida. Orioles.com/spring is where you can sign up to receive the latest news on travel packages, game tickets, and more. You can follow the construction of the Orioles' new spring training ballpark and complex. For more details, visit Orioles.com/spring. Doug Showalter, of course, was there, and they took a look at the yard under construction, where all of the renovations taking place. And a ground ball to second base. Grimes up with that one, makes the throw. And Greg Tatum is retired. Scott Sizemore has come on for Inge to play at third base. 1 away. Showalter after his 32nd victory, and pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, they take a look at the in-game box score. Corey Patterson, that bunt single, really getting the offense going, but also Felix P.A., big night, and also Adam Jones.
As Torres has hit into a double play and grounded out. Orioles shortstop facing Eddie Bonine. We ground that ball to second again. Rhymes up with it. 2 down. 2 down, bottom of the 6th. Well, we leave Bonderman, who's pitched his final game of the season for the Tigers. Worth noting that he is a pitcher really in a comeback mode, Mike. Had 214 innings pitched in 06, and then because of all those health problems, he pitched 174 innings in 07, 71 innings in 08, 10 innings last year, and up to 171 this year. So you got to believe this was the year where he's getting his arm back.
Yeah, he was really missed about a year and a half. And I think you're right, it's a little bit unfair. Probably still in the recovery mode.
That ball popped up behind second base. Peralta, the shortstop, is there, and he's got it, and that will retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 6 here at Camden Yards. Tillman on the winning side of it for the moment. On the mound against Rick Porcello. Our coverage will continue on Masson 2 HD following Game 1, 20 minutes after. O's Extra, presented by your local Ford dealer, will take you up to game time of Game 2. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Here with the Game 2 starters, the fine young arm Rick Porcello will take the mound, making his 27th start against Jeremy Guthrie, who's been on a roll and a lot of fun to watch, and also be looking for a career high in wins after winning 10 the last couple of years.
Chris Tillman looking for just his second win of the season. Working on the mound for the Orioles. Kelly got the home run in the second inning and grounded out in his second time up. 9-7-0 for the Orioles, 1-3-0 for the Tigers. And Kelly will foul that one back in a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Kelly's been on a tear. As hitting .315 over the last 34 games, including 7 home runs and 17 RBIs for him. Tillman will miss inside, and the count will go to 2-1.
I think Tillman has pitched well against this Tigers club on a couple of his occasions this year.
2-1 delivery on the way. That'll miss, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count, and Don Kelly.
Well, back to that 3-1 count, leading off an inning. We'll see what he throws this time. This time a 8-run lead.
And a walk. Only the second walk of the ball game. This one to start the 7th inning. We'll bring out Johnny Peralta. Tigers are making a run at it. Thought they needed some help. Acquired Peralta on July 28th in a deal with the Indians. Peralta currently 0 for 2 in this ball game, and he takes a strike on the inside corner.
He's always been a solid defensive shortstop and a good offensive shortstop. 80 RBIs on the year, pretty good numbers.
Infield double play depth. Tigers, as we mentioned earlier, playing without Miguel Cabrera for the final weekend of the series. New York Times running some of those special statistical numbers each Friday in baseball. Notice today Miguel Cabrera is at the top of the pack in runs produced. It's called batting runs. It measures the number of team runs created by the batter through his hits, walks, hit by pitch relative to the league average. Cabrera's #1 in batting runs. There is strikeout number 6 for Tillman. His career high is 8. This is his season high.
Yeah, 1-2 pitch to Peralta. Again, pretty good hitter. At the bottom of another cutter he just gets on top of. Tough to read, about 89 miles an hour, somewhere close to his fastball velocity, but a lot of movement.
And that pitch taken inside. Runner on, one down. Bosch has grounded out twice. Brennan Bosch, 14 home runs. He'll take the pitch. The others in that batting runs measurement, top 10, Albert Pujols, Joey Votto, Josh Hamilton, Jose Bautista, Adrian Gonzalez, Paul Konerko, Matt Holliday, and Sin Soo Choo of Cleveland. That'll be fouled away. I don't know how much to believe in those numbers because I haven't figured a lot about yet, but I always like looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not sure the formulas for a lot of things and where they are weighted, what is more important than the statistics, but obviously there are players involved there. I don't think a whole lot of surprises.
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Bosch with Kelly on at first base. And the fastball will miss inside to him.
Looking for that lunchbox.
Yeah. He's not in play, though. Staying in foul territory. Oops. Heading out to the field. Ball hit in the air to right, Nick Markakis. Tillman watching the ball and the squirrel at the same time as he... Squirrel is out.
Squirrel's retired, heading to the dugouts. No, not quite.
Nope.
Come do a victory lap.
I've been thrown out of the game.
Now you see a bunch of other squirrels line up along the fence, and they all high-five him as he goes around. Drawing a lot of attention.
He's going to head out to left now. Tuck to Felix.
He's going to go over and try to pull up second base.
Or just crawl under it. Here's Scott Sizemore getting his first at bat here in this ball game. Came in as a defensive replacement for Inch. Somebody needs to open the bullpen door. That'll be fouled away. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Don't worry, State Farm is there.
And it was there.
And the strike on the outside corner. And the count goes to 1-2. Do not fear.
Yeah. I'm looking for it.
Yep. Yeah. Gone. Congratulations. We see him warming up in the bullpen. We'll have it for you. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Scott Sizemore. One-two delivery, runner at first base. That is swung on and missed, and Tillman is cruising. 7 strikeouts, a runner left. Orioles lead. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
Deposited in the right field seats, gives the Tigers an early lead, but short-lived. And after that, the Orioles offense would really come through going through, I guess it's starting off with a bunt single, but after that started to add on some more runs. Tatum with a big hit. Here's PA splitting the outfielders, adding a couple more in. And really was all Orioles in the 4th and 5th inning, scoring all 9 of their runs. And again, they had been no hit, and that had a base runner to the start of that 4th. And after that, it's been all Orioles offense.
Eddie Bonine worked an inning and 2/3. He gave up a hit. And now Alfredo Figaro will come on to do the pitching.
Yeah, he has somewhat struggled over his last couple. He's 0-2 with a 6.55 ERA. Just in his last 11 innings of work has allowed 8 earned runs. This call from AAA in late July. And again, this was really a bullpen has had its share of injuries, and a lot of youngsters up from the farm system for this Tiger bullpen.
And Max St. Pierre has come on to do the catching. So a new battery. And looks like Tillman has done over there and done a heck of a job getting up just the 1 run.
Yeah, nothing but smiles. And those two were really on the same page all night, that being Tatum, the catcher, and Tillman, tonight's starter.
So the Orioles will hit against Figaro, 27-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. Nick Markakis will lead it off against him. Nick with a single, 2 runs scored. He's also walked, and he has grounded out. Figaro was up with the Tigers last year for 5 games. First major league experience last year. He's been up with the Tigers twice this season. Came back up on August 20 the last time. 1 ball, 1 strike delivered to Markakis. Figaro's pitch is in there for a strike. So Bonderman, pitcher of record, gave up the 9 runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, and a strikeout in 4 1/3. And then Bonine, inning and 2/3 and a hit. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Nick hitting at 294, and he'll ground that one to short. Peralta going away bottom of the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. What a beautiful day here in Baltimore. Charm City it is today. Lots of sun and a pretty good breeze blew most of the day to help dry things out a little bit. Boy, there was a lot of water, especially around Fells Point. And a strike on the outside corner. Wigginton has had an 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Yeah, the wind is still swirling around a little bit, but during batting practice, players are having all kinds of trouble going deep to left field. Many of them shooting for right field. The game started really off that way, but it appears to have died down some.
And will probably quiet down even more after sunset for the second game of our doubleheader, which will start 20 minutes from the conclusion of this game 1. 0-2 delivery, and that's to short. Peralta, boy, the infielders on both teams have really had a busy day. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. Folks enjoying the sunset time out in the picnic area. I'm voting for 5:30 starts. I like the more I think about it, the more.
Yeah, the more you like it. Yeah, this time on the end, beforehand. It's not too early to getting up or too late going to bed. Unless
it's never too late to go to bed. Something like that. Swung on a miss, Luke Scott. Luke's had himself a day. 2 walks, been hit by a pitch, and he scored twice. Figaro with a quick couple of outs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Those 6 doubleheaders that the Tigers have played this year, they have won only 1 game 1. That was against the Yankees back in May. So 1-4 in game 1s of doubleheaders this year for the Tigers. 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's part of Mike Scioscia's recommendation, and he is on the commissioner's committee to make recommendations for baseball, just wide open. The committee was appointed last year to reduce the schedule to 158 games by playing doubleheaders.
Yeah, scheduled doubleheaders.
Scheduled doubleheaders, yeah. And he doesn't like day-night doubleheaders. He wants them to be just straight, like this, straight doubleheaders. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that will be taken up high. Easy to say if you're not filling the house with fans. Tougher to agree to if you're the Red Sox or Yankees or Tigers, where you're drawing a big house for every game and you don't want to
lose the gate.
Figaro with a 3-1. Tips off the top of the screen, full count.
That's like the first real fastball which I just had to hit.
I've not had many of those counts today. Right-hander's full count delivery, and Scott will chop that one towards second base. Grimes. And a 1-2-3 inning, and again, 3 ground ball outs. Orioles on top, game 1, 9-1. RBIs on a double and a single. Felix Pa's had a 3 RBI ball game in this. And Chris Tillman, who's now out of the game, 1 run, 3 hits over 7. Couple of walks and 7 strikeouts. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862.
Well, and with that, Mark Hendrickson will come out of the bullpen. 52nd game of the year, 1-6 record. Really has been a workhorse out of the Oriole bullpen, a reliable long man pitch really in any situation. 18 walks on the year and 75 innings of work. Pretty good numbers. Pitched a couple perfect innings Tuesday against Tampa. And he is 7th in the American League with 70 innings of relief work, so he's done a nice job.
So Hendrickson will go to work with the catcher Max St. Pierre coming up. 13 years with the Tigers, had never played a major league game until this year. And he hits that one to left field. PA back, and that's going to go over his head. Take a bounce, and Pierre's going to go into second base as he will pick up a double. So the Quebec native gets his first major league double and his second major league hit.
You have to feel good for Max St. Pierre, first career double. Wasted no time. Look what he knows what he's doing, or what he wanted to do. Low middle of the plate. And just on the reach of PA, I think off his glove.
So leadoff double takes it back to the top of the order. And here's Austin Jackson 0 for 3. He's 8 for 25 against the Orioles this year. And he'll take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Here's looking. St. Pierre is 30 years old. Gentleman who just got that 2-bagger. Born in Quebec City. Talk about serving your time. Wow. 0-1 count on Jackson. Number of the Tiger call-ups are veteran players, veteran minor league players, rather than younger players. Their younger players are everyday players.
They're here.
Yeah, Jackson's one of them. Bosch, 2 real good rookies who played all year. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. And that's going to miss outside.
I was reading some statistic. We're coming into the night. Tiger rookies had 512 base hits by rookies. That's the most by Tiger rookies since 1929.
That's great for the organization.
Yeah, many times you think it's kind of an older ball club. It's really not.
Cabrera still an anchor. Adam Jones, and the second base umpire, having an extended discussion about where Adam wants him to stand. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Jerry Crawford, who's the crew chief, was turned directly around looking at Adam. Adam was waving his arms. Right, left, moving Crawford all over the place so he could see the hitter.
Yeah, they're usually more worried about being in the way of an infielder.
Yep. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Jackson with a runner at second base, nobody out. Only 230 off left-handers this year, and he's going to draw a walk. We were talking earlier about how the Tigers have been a distinctly different team, when they're playing at home as opposed to being on the road. Look at the differential in the record. Runs per game, batting average with runners in scoring position, vastly different, and the ERA, how about that?
Yeah, huge difference. I know when we were in Detroit, we were going over some of those numbers, and guys like Scherzer, Verlander, much better numbers at home, dramatically different numbers. Almost like that 5 on the road ERA and 3 at home.
Will Rhymes has single walked and grounded out. Tigers have 2 on here in the 8th inning with nobody out. Damon waiting on deck. Rhymes the number 2 hitter.
Maybe about as shallow as you see a left fielder play for any hitter, and he still was able to get one between Wigington and PA there in the left side of your field. Ryan's pretty much with the umpire standing, just fair. That's about as shallow as you'll see.
Rhymes has not had a lot of at-bats against lefties, 35, but he's hit 314 off him. 1-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be on the inside corner. I didn't think so. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Rhymes.
Kind of agreeing with the home plate umpire. Little head shake. He's looking for something out of the plate again. Just slapped to left. And the fastball down and in really defeats that plan.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second. Hendrickson. Rhymes in his second stint with the Tigers, called up from AAA in August 18 for the second time. You say his name, Rhymes, and the next thing you want to say is, with what?
Or for what reason?
1 ball, 2 strike count on him. And that's going to be to center field. It'll be a base hit. Jones, very shallow, will hold the runner at third. Even playing that shallow, the ball dumped in front of him. And the Tigers have loaded the bases here in the 8th with nobody out.
Yeah, you see Rhymes' plan of attack was just to flip something, get something away from him. He could just flip it out into the outfield.
Rick Kranitz is on his way up. Johnny Damon's going to come up with the sacks full. Showalter we're checking the numbers. Damon hasn't mattered much for Jimmy Leland's team. He's hitting .277 off lefties and .270 off right-handers this year. 6 career grand slams.
And he's been in this situation before, and many times. It's like Buck will get on the phone himself and call the bullpen.
Yes. For a manager, Buck spends a lot of time.
He's not afraid to use that phone.
He picks that phone up on his own. So the sacks are loaded. St. Pierre, Jackson, and Rhymes. Johnny Damon's going to go to left. PA, a sinking line drive. Runner tagged late. Throw to second, not in time. Pretty good heads-up move right there because he knew St. Pierre was late tagging, so he wasn't going anywhere. So he tried to throw behind Jackson at second base.
I want to say that was a really good read by Felix PA. And the runner at third heading back, and Felix sees that right away and changes midstream and takes a shot at Jackson, second base. See him look towards Holmes, nothing going on there, and changes his throw. Pretty close play.
Let's check in with WJZ's Mark Viviano. Mark.
Gary was talking to John Shelby before the game, talking about him wanting to be back. He said one of the things he's most proud of is his work with Felix PA. PA did not want to play left field when he came here. And after his work with John Shelby, he not only has played well, he loves being out there. And plays like that, indications that his instincts are working for him as well, Gary.
Much better than we saw in the first half of the season or last year.
Yeah, just the reaction time. I mean, it's the little things I think that John Shelby has done. Felix PA getting the read. And the balls that are breaking toward the line, we saw Felix have some problem with that, not recognizing the spin and how it's going to carry. And he's played much better out in left field.
Rayburn with the bases loaded and one away. Takes that one for a strike. Ryan Rayburn lined out, ground ball out, and a strikeout. Still has him full. St. Pierre third, Jackson second, Rhymes at first. Mark Hendrickson with a 1-1 in the dirt. Tatum with a nice stop to hold the runners. Rayburn is this year 5 for 10 with the bases loaded. 13 bases loaded RBIs, no grand slams on the season for him. Orioles up 9-1 in the 8th. 2-1 delivery, and that is swung on and missed. 2-2.
No, looking for a fastball. Got something else. Looks like an off-speed pitch, but he probably is their hottest hitter, certainly with Cabrera being out of the lineup. It's really their most dangerous. You can see that change-up grip, and pretty good one. The bottom able to fall out a little at the end.
Infield double play depth. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's going to be inside.
You know, those at bats that Mark Henderson likes to pitch backwards, slow stuff early. And you get a chance to try to lock him up with a fastball in or a fastball away. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In for the strikeout. Looks like he just wandered off that inside corner.
Rayburn 294 off lefties, 274 righties. 3-2 delivery, and Watson a run. So a bases loaded walk. St. Pierre, who started the inning with a double, will cross with the Tigers' second run of the ball game, and it's 9-2.
Now tried to go back in. I think it was the right pitch, but I'm just unable to get the call or execute the pitch to the corner as Albers will get up.
So Rayburn will be credited with the RBI. Bases remain loaded, still one away. And here's Kelly. And he takes the breaking ball. Ball one. Rayburn with 62 runs batted in. Don Kelly with a home run, his 8th solo shot in the second inning. Hendrickson's 1-0 pitch to him. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Jackson will score. Rhymes will stop at third. Station to station for the Tigers, but a couple of runs in the inning and a 9-3 score, and that will be it for Henderson. The tough inning came on for Tillman. He'll struggle to get outs. Works only a third of an inning. Surrenders 3 hits, and along with that, a couple of walks that created the opportunities, and the Tigers have taken advantage. Albers will come on to pitch. Bases remain loaded.
League in relief innings, 74 innings of work for Matt Albers as a 3.57 ERA in his last 26 appearances on the year. 74 innings for 75 hits. Walks a little on the high side, has pitched extremely well here at Camden Yards on the year. He really has been the good luck charm. He has the second most wins on the team at home. He is 5-1 with a 4.29 ERA. Only Jeremy Guthrie has more wins here at Camden Yards this year. So into the frying pan right here with the bases loaded.
And the veteran Johnny Peralta coming to the plate. Sacks full. Still only one away. Distinct ground ball pitcher. Albers looking to get the ground ball double play. And Peralta will take it for a strike. Matt Albers, this is game number 4 against the Tigers this year. He's given up 5 runs on 7 hits in 4 1/3 innings against the Tigers this season. Tigers have picked up an RBI and a single, RBI and a bases loaded walk. 0-1 delivery. Peralta will take that inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. A couple of grand slams in his career. Peralta has faced Albers only a couple of times, 1 for 2. 1-ball, 1-strike count. And that just misses inside. And he'll fall behind 2-1.
That's the side of the plate that they just haven't been getting the call on from Phil Cousy. That inside to a right-hander. Take a look at this 1-1 pitch. Late movement off the corner.
Two-1 delivery. Hits the foul ball. And that'll even the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They're just trying to get that ground ball.
There's 6 doubleheaders played this season. Tigers have not scored more than 3 runs in game 1 of a doubleheader this year. They've got 3 in this one. 3 runs on 6 hits for the moment. Here's the 2-2 delivery towards second, and cut off. Scott won. Nobody at first in time to cover, and a run will score. So Peralta will be credited with an RBI on the fielder's choice. Will Rhymes crosses the plate. It is a 9-4 ball game, but there are 2 down now.
I just take the out. Peralta really gets sawed off inside, trying to shoot to the right field. I think it surprised Albers a little bit that Luke Scott makes this play. So a little late getting to first base.
RBI for Peralta.
That's what really defeats that inside-out stroke, when you can throw it down and in like Albers was able to do.
Now first and third with 2 down. Brennan Bosch at the plate. 0 for 3. And Bosch will take that for a ball. Peralta gets his 38th RBI in 55 games with the Tigers. He's got 81 combined on the year. 1-0 count to Bosch. Fouls that one away. 1-1. 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game 1. We will have the second game of the doubleheader coming up. Jim Johnson in the bullpen for the Orioles. Rick Porcello and Jeremy Guthrie in game 2. Here's the 1-1. And that's going to catch the inside corner. One ball, 2 strike count. Rayburn off third, Peralta off first, and that's going to be a base hit into right field. So Bosch delivers the RBI, bringing Rayburn home. And the Tigers continue to chip away here as they've made it a 9-5 ball game.
Again, nothing fancy. Looks like a breaking ball from Matt Albers, and Bosch just sort of flips it into right field.
2-out RBI for Bosch. And for the Orioles, it suddenly gets a little bit too close.
It's been a 6-run inning for the Orioles, a 3-run inning, now a 4-run inning for the Tigers.
67 RBIs for the rookie Bosch on the year. Tillman cruised through with a run on 3 hits over 7. But Hendrickson and Albers struggling to get an out. Needed to end the inning here in the 8th. 2 on, 2 down. Scott Sizemore will take it outside for a ball. This is the 9th Tiger to hit in the inning. Sizemore came on as a defensive replacement for Inge. And his only at bat, he was a strikeout victim, and a 1-ball, 1 strike count on him here. Spent most of the year with the Toledo Mud Hens, where he hit .298, 76 games there. 1-1 delivery. Outside, 2-ball, 1 strike count on Sizemore. He has been up and down with the Tigers 3 times this year. They've had a number of position players up and down, and pitchers.
Yeah, they've not been afraid to send out pitchers either. Porcello has gone out before. Max Scherzer went back. Big time arms.
And falls behind 3-1. This will drive Buck Showalter crazy. Started the inning here with a 9-1 lead. There have been 2 walks issued in the inning. 3-1 delivery and fouled away in a full count, 3-2.
Hit batters
2 down.
Yeah, hit batters and walks have played an important role in the offense of both squads.
All 4 of the runs will be charged to Mark Hendrickson in the inning. 4 runs, 3 hits in a third of an inning. 3-ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second are going and striking out. Now Albers finds the K against Sizemore. Tigers bat around, collect 4 and make it a 9-5 game. latest gear at the official online shop of the Orioles. Browse the largest online selection, official caps, T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more for the whole family. And you can do it 24/7. Get your gear from the official source, the Orioles.com shop. Wind is gone. It blew for most of the day fairly hard sometime this afternoon. It is, with the sunset, it has just died right down to nothing. Felix Piet will lead it off. Piet, Jones, and Andino.
Yeah, no longer a factor. You see the flags. Not a breeze.
Piet has delivered a 3 RBI ball game. He'll be retired there. Peralta, one away. They've had more ground balls in this game than any other in the year. Adam Jones coming up for Adam. Bases loaded, 4th inning. He cleared him. Got the double. And then an RBI base hit in the 5th. A 4 RBI game for the Orioles center fielder. As he's 2 for 3 and continues to hit now over 425 against the Tigers on the year. Figaro, the right-hander, will miss outside with that.
I think Adam might have a chance to take over 2nd place for RBIs on the club this year.
1-0 is up high, 2-0. He had three RBI ball games prior to this. This is his first 4 RBI game of the year. .3-0 count. Ray Crowley seeing his offensive unit come alive in the 4th inning. 6 runs, 4 hits, 3 more in the 5th inning. 3 runs, 3 hits. Building up what was a 9-1 lead. Now it is 9-5. Each team has 7 hits in the ball game. Orioles doing something in this game they have not done a lot this year, and that's be opportunistic with runners in scoring position. They've left only 1 base runner on. And that was back in the 4th inning. A 3-ball, 2-strike count. It's the only ball game underway in Major League Baseball. Full slate, American and National League tonight, with those games to decide the best record in the American League and the National League West champion and wild card spot. Boy, did he drill that to center. That's on the button. Jackson back, not going to get it. That'll bounce off the base of the wall, and into second base goes Jones. A 3-hit ball game and his 2nd double.
And he's really worn out Tiger pitching all year long. Came into the night hitting .417 versus the Tigers, and 3 more hits tonight. Hopping out over the plate, 3-2 pitch, 95. And it seemed like when the Orioles were in Detroit, they were unable to get a ball over Austin Jackson's head, and they've been able to do it a couple of times tonight.
25 on the season for Adam. And with 1 away, here's Robert Andino. A walk hit by a pitch hit into a double play. He has scored a run in the ball game. Andino, 5-game hit streak. If he can get a hit here in this one. He had 1 in each on the road in the 4 games that he played. Coming up from the Tides in Norfolk, AAA, on September 1. And one of the players getting a long look. Figaro had retired the side in order in the 7th inning, so the first hit off him, the double by Jones. Oh, 1 count on Andino with 1 down. This up high with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, trying to stay away from the fastball to Andino. He's a pretty good fastball hitter.
One and one. Jones good lead, and that'll be foul back. Just Figaro up on the count here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fan appreciation weekend going on for all of these Tiger games. The doubleheader today, game tomorrow night, game on Sunday afternoon. Fans have a chance to get autographed jerseys right off the backs of the players, literally. 1-2 pitch, and got it. So Figaro gets the strikeout.
That's one of the off-speed pitches. It's at a little bit below Questet, but pretty paralyzing pitch. 0-2. Wanted it in, but threw a low middle.
Fans enjoying the beautiful evening here at Camden Yards. Patterson struck out starting the ball game in the first inning for the Orioles. That's the only other strikeout. Tatum, 2 RBI double. He's got a base hit. Coming around, Jones. He'll score. 3 RBI game for Tatum, and it's 10-5.
He's done a nice job behind the plate tonight. Also has helped this offense out. Actually hit a ball back in the third inning. I thought I had a chance to go, but that's when the wind was blowing in. So he's had a real big night with the bat and the glove.
And that is going to be his first 3 RBI game of the season. Well, the Orioles get one back here in the bottom half of the 8th. Is Turris 0 for 3. 5 for 23 against the Tigers for the Orioles shortstop. We've put up 15 runs on 16 hits in game 1 of this doubleheader. Figaro, 27-year-old right-hander, giving up a run here. 1-0 delivery with 2 down. A chopper to second, and Rhymes will make the play. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles 3 outs away from a win as we go to the 9th. It's on. 10-9-0 for the Orioles, 5-7-0 for the Tigers as we go to the 9th inning as the Orioles look to extend the Tigers' losing streak to 4 games. Remember, the Tigers come in having lost a doubleheader to Cleveland on Wednesday. And for Buck Showalter, looking for his 32nd win since taking over. Matt Albers will try and finish it off. Ramon Santiago.
And he'll come off the bench. And again, any signs of, do you like it, Buck Showalter will send Albers right back out there. He'll finish it off.
Santiago batting as a pinch hitter here in the 9th inning in the number 9 spot. Albers will try and throw some strikes and put this one away.
With the Tigers, all their problems on the road. This would be their 50th loss. They'd be 28-50. 52-29 at home.
And that is taken for a strike. So Albers gets it to 2-1. Tigers 80 wins on the year, 86 last year. This ball club that tried to make a run and foul back, and Albers gets the count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Tillman looking for his first win at home this year and win number 2 on the year to go 2-5 if he can get it. Tillman, 4th quality start in this, the 11th game for him. 2-2 delivery. Tried to duck away, and it didn't work. Albers gets the strikeout, and there's one away here in the 9th inning. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T player of the game. You can still text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. The results coming up on the O's Extra post-game show. A couple of strikeouts for Albers. Slider strike on the outside corner. Top of the order in Austin Jackson. Jackson's had an 0 for 3, a walk and a run scored. Last chance for him to try and extend a 5-game win streak, hit streak. The 0-1 is a check swing that he held up on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Will miss away. Jeremy Guthrie, Rick Porcello, the starters in game 2. That'll be coming up 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Jim and Rick will be along between the 2 ball games, and then we'll be back for game 2. Strike on the outside corner, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Jackson struck out in his first plate appearance, and they gave him 168 on the year. That leads the American League in strikeouts. Beating and B.J. Upton and Carlos Pena with Tampa.
And he takes that to right field, sending Markakis to the warning track. 2 down. Buck Showalter. A little rocking on the bench there. Only 1 out away from the game 1 win. Will Rhymes coming up. 2 singles, a walk. He is grounded out. Tillman the winner. If the Orioles get it, 2-5. Bonderman will be the loser, and he will be 8-10. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him, grounded down to first. Big hop. That's a fair ball. It'll roll into the corner. Rhymes on his way. Oop, Markakis slipped. He's going to make the turn and head to third. He will come in with a triple, no play made. And fortunately for Markakis, he is all right on a warning track that if Buck Showalter has anything to do with it, will not be there next year in this form. Watch Markakis, if we can see it here, slip.
It's going to be out of the reach of Luke Scott. About chest high ball he probably should have made. Well, Rhymes will head over all the way to third base.
The slippery rubber is not a favorite pattern of Buck Showalter, and that's why. Here's Johnny Damon. Damon a double. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game. 3-hit ball game for Rhymes, who's on at third. 2 singles and a triple. Damon on the slow cut right there, 0-2.
Well, a lot of players will tell you you can't dive on that surface. You just stop. You don't slide.
Fans on their feet. Albers trying to finish. Johnny Damon with the 0-2. One-two pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses. Orioles getting it done with 2 big innings. 4th inning where they batted around, sent 10 to the plate, 6 runs, 4 hits. 5th inning, 3 runs, 3 hits, added another in the 8th. Tigers got a home run by Don Kelly in the 2nd inning, and then did not score again until the 8th when they picked up 4. Albers with a 2-2. And Damon will foul it off, no play. Damon 0 for 5 off Albers lifetime. Runner at third. Here's the 2-2 delivery.
Just torturing the fans. 2-2 pitch. Up. Damon just laying off a little bit out of the strike zone.
Damon up the middle, and he's got a base hit. Rhymes will score. And it's a 10-6 ball game. So Johnny Damon, a 2-hit game. He's 2 for 5. First RBI of the game. Continues to find a way to get it done. Damon gets his 50th run batted in.
As you say, just a professional hitter.
Now with 2 away, Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn has walked, scored. Got an RBI and a bases loaded walk. Albers will miss outside with the ball. 1-0. Mark Henderson charged with 4 runs on 3 hits in a third of an inning. This one will go against Albers. Johnny Damon will take off. They're not holding him. That is fouled. Damon will come back. One ball, 1 strike. And that is foul tipped into the mid. 1-2. Damon goes down to second.
Now that's the spot you want to throw Rayburn, down under his hands on the inside part of the plate if you can.
And the 1-2. Tigers not going to give it up here. They battle back late in the ball game to give themselves a bit of a chance.
Same spot, reaching back for a little extra. 93 on the last fastball from Albers.
I was just thinking, Buck Showalter said one of the reasons he started Tillman in the first game, Guthrie in the second, he didn't want a younger pitcher having to sit around and wait for the whole first game and think about the second game. Tillman, wonder which is worse, sitting around waiting for the second game, waiting for this to be over. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's it. Ball game done. And the Orioles take the front end of the doubleheader, winning it by a score of 10-6. Tigers here in the ninth inning get a run on a couple of hits and will leave a base runner on. There's your final.